Megan, how you going? Sorry, I haven't got to you till now. As all kinds of stuff been going on. How's things?
No worries. There's some good content you're sharing. So I took a couple of notes there as well. So don't
Cool,
worry.
awesome. Well, it's good for you guys to know your customer better as well.
Absolutely.
So guys, Megan works for Fotaflo, and just a bit of background. So I was chatting with Ryan O'Grady, who's one of the founders of Fotaflo, the other week. So he's sort of been on my radar, obviously, because he's got the same type of audience that I have. And I didn't really know much about his product, but I had a bit of a chat with him. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And it just makes sense for a tour business owner with a sort of a lean marketing and promotion budget. And it's the sort of thing that what I loved about it is the sort of thing that continues to pay you back over and over and gets this sort of snowball effects. And is really great at driving like referral business as well. And is great for someone that always has these kind of conversations or this uncertainty in their business about social media and which platforms they should be investing time in, sharing content in, what's working, what's not. And it sort of takes that away out of the equation because you're sort of, you can probably articulate it better than I can, but ultimately you're sharing images with existing customers who were on your tours and then putting it on them to be sharing those images through their own chosen channels, okay, which is just growing your your visibility and this sort of snowball effect of marketing and this referral is taking place. Is that kind of a good way to describe it? Tell us I guess in your words, Megan, how what's cool about the products.
Sure. Well, I'd say there's a couple of pieces here to sort of set the stage. One is what we know about your sort of need to drive this emotional connection with your guests, whether that's on your tour through, storytelling or the experience that you provide, or in your marketing pre-tour or post-tour. Like, how are you really helping to develop that relationship? Because that's the fundamental thing that's going to keep people coming back. And the second piece to it is really the fact that we're in this experiential age of digital economics, selling and online discovery and influencer marketing and all of the things. So how do you also connect on an emotional level with your guests, past guests, current guests, future guests on the channels that they are using? Whether that is, their social media, their email, predominantly social, then is it TikTok, is it Snapchat, is it Instagram, is it Facebook? And as a business owner, how can you be everywhere all at once and continue to develop that content to connect with people all at once? And then when you really step back and look at the tours that you're offering, I guarantee you are seeing phones out, photos being captured, guides being handed smartphones. Hey, can you take a photo of us? And you start to think about that, and you just know that content is ending up online. Your guests are sharing it through their chosen social channels. That content is reaching your target audience because it's the friends and family, the social networks of the people that have been on tour with you, basically advertising your tour for free. But this is the biggest missed opportunity because you have no way of knowing, no way of guaranteeing that your business and brand are actually being included with that messaging. So maybe, it's a day tour in Hawaii, or it's a wine tour in BC, but we have no way of connecting your actual brand and a way for those people being introduced to your brand to find you. That's the problem and the opportunity.
That's the problem that you guys solve, yeah?
Yeah.
So how does that work for you to actually drive that interest and excitement back to the operator?
Okay, two things, really simple. You take that experience of capturing a photo for your guest and then automate the delivery process. So number one, you're adding value because now I can say, hey, do you know what? Me, my guides, my tour, we know the very best moments, the best backdrops. We're going to make sure that you leave with the most beautiful family photo of your holiday. And oftentimes by you taking ownership of that process, you're capturing a better photo than they can get by themselves. right? Because usually someone has a big head in the selfie, or dad's out of the picture because he's taking the picture, or it's being disruptive to your guides at the wrong time, being asked, here, take my phone. Can you take a photo of us? Oops, the guy dropped the phone overboard. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it could happen. But you can basically advertise the fact that, you know what, let us do that for you. So you can be in the tour in the moment, and we'll deliver that photo. So now you find that opportunity in the tour where you can easily capture as sort of a systemized part of the experience, get the photo. And technically the way it works is we have an app that can exist on any smartphone, Android or iOS device. And then we also integrate with most of the major reservation or waiver technology providers. So we can pull your manifest of guests for the day and as reservation labels. So the guide can easily say, you know, there's Paul, there's Brian, there's Kevin for the 4 p.m. wine and dine tour. Select the labels, take the photo, job done. Because of our integration, we can now automatically deliver those photos in the form of an email or a text message direct to your guest. And then in our delivery method, which is through a white label online viewing portal, so it's like a photo album that's all branded for your tour and business with direct links that provide trackability into where they share, how they share, and how many referral leads or like-minded members of their communities are they attracting to your brand and business. In doing this, we start to create a picture or a profile of your customer base and start to identify who's engaging with your brand, who's valuable to your brand in terms of who they attract to your business. And we can also start to communicate with them specifically based on that.
So how would you communicate with them?
So great question. In the emails and text messages that initially go out, there's obviously the option to customize any of this messaging. So there's your original delivery. Now, what we can also do on an either sort of one-off standalone campaign perspective or sort of a set and forget automated campaign, we can remarket to your past guests with their photos, inclusive of special brand message from you.
Gotcha.
So for example, on the 1 year, 2 year, 3 year anniversary of their experience, we can repackage, resend their photos with a special message. Hey, we hope these photos bring a smile onto your face. It was so great to see you. We can't wait to see you again in the future. It'd be great if you share these photos. You know, I've had some clients that will do like a one-time campaign at Christmas where the tour guide or the owners, they'll throw Santa hats on and drop a video into that album with their photos. Merry Christmas from our tour. Hope it's amazing. So yeah.
And you guys know the type of content that works as well. I'm sure, like Brian was talking about specific styles of photo that you know are more effective than others. So you can actually kind of coach a tour business owner in the type of images that they're capturing that are going to get traction.
Those are really good questions as well on the operational side of things. Is almost everyone perceives it to be more difficult than it is. And we're based on what we know and what we've learned over the last 13 years. This is not about being National Geographic and documenting the whole experience for them, right? This is about what we call like an intentional photo. And it's everyone who booked together, standing together, smiling, looking at the camera, and it only takes one. And that's what we coach you on, is that one photo. So you think of either the bottlenecks in your tour, maybe it's like where people are boarding a boat, or a particular beautiful background, or perhaps a monument that drives a lot of emotion in a city tour, like something special. Build it into a moment in your tour where you can easily capture the photo. So we're not being disruptive to things going on, but it only takes the one.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. You know what I'd love to do? Just have you got like if you don't now, it's fine. I could just share one in the group, like an actual example of what I'm trying to actually visualize what it looks like to get a branded image.
Yeah, let me share my screen. Let me know when that comes
and
through.
We've like got literally a couple of minutes, guys. If anyone's got a question or two for Meghan, just jump in.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Perfect. So here's an example of the email and the text message that go out. So this would obviously be custom branded. So your logo, you know, your bit of text, your colors. And then when they click through, this is an example of the album page. So an ability to Like I can see Brian at a Taste of Hanoi. If there's a Taste of Hanoi way that you like to interject your brand voice, like you interject that here. And then, of course, this is where the trackability happens. So guests can view their photos, select photos individually or as a group, and then share them out on their social channels that they frequent.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, that all makes sense. That all makes sense. Yeah, it's now I can visualize it. Has anyone got any questions for Meghan? What I'm going to do is I'm going to get you just to drop is it best your email or Ryan's email into the group?
Yeah, we can use mine. I'm struggling here, forgive me, because I don't really use Zoom that often. How do I stop sharing my, oh, there we go. Back to the chat. I can't figure out how to get out of here. Oh, there it is. It's gone up to my other screen. Okay, forgive me.
So Jim said, Meghan, I'd like to know more. Yeah, look, what I would suggest, yeah, well, you know, there's Jim's email, but if you just drop your email there in the chat and people can reach out for you. Yeah, like, so I instantly when I was speaking to Ryan, I got it. I'm like, wow, that is just such an intelligent use of a limited marketing budget that is going to just, rather than other initiatives that, you know, like that lose traction pretty quickly over a short-term period. This is one that kind of gets this snowball effect and is going to continue to like pay you back over and over as it's spread, you know, further afield.
I think that's the main thing is like there's major struggles for operators, like which channel can I be on all, and how do I create content for all the channels? This is your guest doing it for you. So there's two types of media, right? There's owned media, and that's the stuff that you create and you manage and you send to your channels that have this finite audience that, you know, slowly grows over time. It's important. But as soon as you have this sort of evergreen content in the hands of your guests, reaching their infinite web of social media contacts, friends, family, with an authentic brand endorsement from them. And then you do this not just today, but again in 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years later, all of a sudden you're starting to have like all of the content that's already circulating that was taken on your tours linked back to you actually in a trackable way.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to have to wind things up, guys. Anyone got a super quick question for Meghan? I'm going to leave your details in the group as well, like the members only group, so people can reach out to you directly. I think you guys do like a demo or something anyway, don't you?
Yeah, I'd love to like understand an operator's business and kind of what the cadence of the tour is and how can we really make this work for you. So I'm really happy to chat one-on-one.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank
you. Really good, articulate and simply, easily understood description as well. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wind things up, and there's going to be a couple of weeks without calls, so I'll just give you some details in the group about when we recommence after the new year. But if I don't see you guys before then or hear from you, have a lovely Christmas.